Please breathe. Say something to me. Say something to me. Chat, speak to me. Damn, Bowser got hurt too. Frog, hello. Hi. I'm sorry about that. I guess just talking about previous stream crashes curses me to have a stream crash. Man, I love you, Foodie. I love you too, Hitsuji. Thanks for being one of my good friends. I appreciate you. I love the way that you guys can obviously hear the Twitch integrated throwing system bonking me every time you type Pippi, but the frog chair just isn't there. Wait. Hold on. We connected? Oh, thank you. Okay. They fed her the gullible soup. And then it got me. It was so yummy delicious too. I believed that Cherry Wet Tea had COVID. Fuck my life. This is so embarrassing right now. Why are you running like that? Damn. Alright, you're mine. And not in a fun gay way. Pippi, let's go get pho? Sure. I've never actually had like good pho. So I would love to try some good pho. Okay, well. Depth perception moment. I hate it here. This is truly the worst experience. In my professional streamer opinion, I don't think this is the one either. Okay. Gaming, 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 gaming. Having our gamer moment. Never mind. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh, it's going on backwards, guys. It's going on backwards, guys. It's going on backwards. What? Is that a heart? Is that a heart? Is that a heart or a mushroom? Is that a heart or a mushroom? God damn it. I guess we'll never know. Shit, 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 shit. Ugh. I hate this. I hate this. He just be spraying fire in any direction he wants, huh? No. Bad. No, no, no. No, no, no. I guess that's all we're getting in right now. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, it's going on backward. I'm gonna need you to destroy some of these pillars. I need something. I need something. I need something. Fuck my life. That's not what I need. Okay, alright. We're doing good, we're doing good, we're doing good, we're doing good. Okay, alright, alright, we're doing good, we're doing good. Okay. One or two more, one or two more, one or two more. He's at 44. You've gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm gonna cry little frog tears. Nah, 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 nah. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. We got this in the bag. Praise be Froggle, let's fucking go! Could you imagine if this game was like Wreck-It Ralph and like Bowser defeated Luigi and he could just hear like King Boo just like hears from above like the sound Luigi's like desperate feet like pounding down the stairs like I'm gonna fucking get you, you piece of shit. I would love to live in this mansion. This is the only mansion I think in the world that I'd be comfortable living in because I feel like I already do live here. You could just hear Luigi cursing his heart out, just like running around upstairs. Like, what is he doing up there? This is the run. This is the time. For real though, if we die, I need to get a snack. Hold on, Boo, I need to take your money first. You got riches. Alright. King Boo. You've kinged your last Boo. He's literally having his, like, super rich villain monologue. Unrelated. His crown looks like a ring pop, and I want to eat it so bad. It's over for you, King Boo. I am the Luigi's Mansion. I guess this really was a Luigi's Mansion. Credits start rolling. If I had $3 trillion, I'm hella monologuing. Like, doesn't it though? Doesn't it look like you just want to put it in your mouth? It looks like candy. Ah! They say time is money. Alright, chat, this is the run. This is the run. This is what we put the net crack on the line for. Hey, Bowser. This is it. We gaming. We capital G gaming in this house. I think I should wait and try capturing him until after the first ice ball is thrown, you know? Hey, what's up? Go stand right here. Go stand right here. Don't let this inferior nutcracker win. Your pathetic netcracks could never match mine. I don't see why he feels the need to get the extra one on that first little bit. I don't like that. Who do you think you are? No, 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 no. We bowling? Gaming? Nah. I gotta get away from these bombs. 388. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not even a little snap. Not a crackle. Not a pop. Look at you. You want to be me so bad. You wish you were Pippi of the... Okay, alright. Alright. Not as big as I wanted to go, but... We're all good here. We're all good here in the hood. Fuck my life. Give it back. Okay, alright, alright. We really are gaming. I guess this really was a Luigi's Mansion. Big damage, big damage, big damage. Alright. Over here, doofus. Joystick ferocity. I'm not here to play games, except Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo game. Ooh! Hey, bud. Okay, alright. Okay, alright, alright. Oh! Okay, alright, alright. Alright, we gotta stay. We gotta stay close so he doesn't hop. Because if he hops, it's over. Fuck. Get that head off. What's the opposite of giving head? Because that's whatever I'm doing here. This is big. This is big. This is big. This is big. Taking head. I'm taking head. I'm getting that. Alright. Correct yourself so I can defeat you in style. You gotta know. It's over for you. It's so over for this guy. Let's fucking go. It's Jover for you, Bowser. First try. Take this, Pippi suck. Let's fucking go. Luigi, you did it. Truly remarkable, my boy. I supplied the Poltergeist 3000, but you ran with it all the way to the top, Sonny. You've made me so proud. Get a hold of yourself, Dad. What's that? You found King Boo? He jumped into a painting of Bowser, you say? He even blew fire at you? Well, well. In all my years of ghost research, I've never heard of such a fantastical tale. And that career spanned 60 years, mind you. Why, I still recall starting out as a young whelp who trembled at the mere thought of a ghost. Trembled, I say. Oh, I beg your pardon. This brain goes recollecting every now and then. I could sit down and fill a week spinning ghost yarns. Why, just... Right. Well, anywho, Luigi, grab your brother's painting and bring him back to the lab. Mario, are you, are you good in there, Mario? You wanna just pop your little head up? You wanna say something? Hello? You wanna just breathe? Any sign? Sleep is one way I would put that. Bro is conked. I'll be expecting you both. You expect him to just kind of grab this whole ass painting by himself? Damn. Aww. Mario. Oh my god. This is so cute. This will mess with your head. All your hard work lasted only a single night. Well done, Luigi. The mansion those booths built disappeared into the night, but that treasure seems to be real. I have no interest in that theft, though. You go on and keep it all. Use it however you like. Say what? Enough rattling on about money. I guess we'd get your brother back then. Of course, your brother's really important, so we first have to take care of these last ghosts. Cut to paper shredder footage. Maybe he snuck some beer into the painting. Maybe he's just having a time. He needs to sleep after his wild night. Is anybody else getting flashbacks to that bowl printing video when you watch this process a little bit? Yeah, we kind of went hard on the ghost this round. Titties. Yeah, exactly. You get me, Hitsuji. Yeah, we went a little insane with the ghost this time around. Yeah, with the big robot titties. Yeah. You know, I'd seen the video of them, like, prepping it before. I've never seen the whole video. Like, I'd never seen the printing in action. Go boing. Something about boobies, you know? You guys understand me? There's so many of them. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boobies, am I right? Oh, you're so right. 23 ghosts. There's billions in the world, my ass gets none. Same. I feel you. I feel you so hard right now, Toby. Wow. Wow. Holy fuck, dog. Mario, speak to me. Got twice as many boobies as there are women. No, they're getting his ass. No! Mario! Recombobulates you. Fuck you. Brings you into the third dimension. Mario? He's so cute.
Mamma mia.
Oh, not him crying. Oh, not him crying. I think literally this footage is enough to like, this footage alone is enough to like disprove that one game theory video that came out fucking years ago. It was like, Mario's a psychopath, blah blah whatever. They love each other so much. I love them. I love Mario Brothers. Oh my god. Plot twist is next snap when he yeah, bro, why are you laughing? You need to take him to the hospital. Actually, MatPat used that as evidence in the theory? I don't remember that! This truly was a Luigi's Mansion. Man, that guy's theory sucks. I'm giving you a little peek into my donathon, but it will, I'm sure, thrill you to know that one of my donathon goals for next month is to watch every single game theory FNAF video on stream. This is the same guy who had a theory measuring Luigi's schlong. Oh my god. You're in for some shit. Hey, this credit theme kind of fucks. After this game, I'm pretty sure it grew at least 4 meters. Yeah, this was some Chad shit. Do you think it's very funny that Scott Cawthon has gone on record saying that he like actively changed the lore of FNAF as he made more games? I don't know how I feel about Scott Cawthon. And so the matter of Ghost was settled. Professor Egad was so delighted to have all of his paintings returned that he used the treasure Luigi found to build a new house. Welcome to Luigi's new mansion. Specifically to fuck over the theorists like MatPat. Also, that's like a shitty thing to do as a creator, in my opinion. Like, I think he did not think past 4 games. If Scott Cawthon thought 4 games worth of content, that would surprise me. It would be rank restart game. Damn. Hold on, I want to see pictures of all the ranks. Okay, hold on. Luigi's mansion ranks. I wish you could explore the new mansion. That would be fun. Wait a second. Okay, wait, hold on. Speaking of FNAF, I think the movie fucks. I really want to see it tomorrow. I want to see it so bad. Okay, hold up. Ew, Reddit, but anyway. Okay, so we got. Oh, we almost got A rank. That's crazy. The haunted mansion disappeared without a trace. And there's a little tent. That's funny. That's funny as fuck. So you got a little tent, a shack, like a small house, a split level, a big house, a real mansion, a mansion, and like a dead ass manor. Canonically, Luigi got the G rank. It's crazy. I'm about to be rank H. Yeah, I'm gonna be rank H when I move out next year. I'm gonna be broke as fuck. Tell some stuff about it. It seems pretty good. I'm rank Z. We don't even got terrain. Owning. You guys are owning land? You guys are landowners? You guys have a rank? That that was Luigi's mansion, everybody. I'm so happy to be on this little journey with you. Stop. Yes. Excelente. Now I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some snacks. Hold on a second. We're gonna go back to chilling for a little bit before we end the stream. Chatting about the game and about FNAF. Put the music back on. Yo, put the music back on. Should we put Obsidian Mansion back on, or should we chill with some Luigi's Mansion music? Luigi's Mansion. Okay, I'll get my snacks. I got a Halloween themed Tokyo treat that I forgot to cancel. How do I open this? I don't remember. Oh, there's tape. Okay, cool. Why is my frog meowing? Is it stupid or something? The PNG has to completely distort with a snack just like the I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't distort hard enough for your tastes. If I could find my keys, I could just rip this open, but Discord's going crazy. Oh, that's literally just me changing my stream category. Distort better, baby. Come on. Wait, guys, I promise I can get this tape off with my bare hands. I'm so close. Whew. That took 90 years. Okay. Okay, cool. This is my Halloween Tokyo treat. I will read you the little descriptions that come with all the things. And whatever little facts they have in here. Because sometimes they include little facts about Japan or whatever. Inside the box. I canceled it after this. So I hope you guys don't mind. The theme is Halloween snack haul. Let me see here. Do we have any cool things to read to you? Spookfest, under Japan's Halloween spell. Halloween started making waves in 1997 in Japan thanks to Disney's Happy Halloween event. Now, theme parks all over Japan, like Universal Studios, host their own spooky parties. Japan already had all the ingredients for Halloween, especially a love for cosplay thanks to anime and manga. Shibuya Fright Night. Shibuya Scramble is now the place to be on Halloween with over 1 million people every year joining in the giant costume party. Aren't they not doing that this year? I thought I saw signs like there's no like Halloween shit going on in Shibuya, or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong place. Thanks to international and English cram schools, children now get to learn about trick-or-treating and Halloween culture from an early age. Japan has always loved scary stories. Way before Halloween arrived, J-horror films like Ju-on, The Grudge, and Ringu show their scary imagination. Japanese horror is pretty cool. I love examining it when I can. Let's see, they have the Tokyo Treat staff has spooky anime picks. Mononoke is not on this list, so I'm discounting all of it. They have picked Soul Eater from 2008, Ghost Hunt from 2006, and XXXholic from 2006 as well. Okay. Let's see what we have here. What do we have here that I'm interested in eating? Oh, there's a little Pokemon snack in here. What is this? Choco pie? Let me see here. Let me find it. Japanese horror is fucked. Yeah, I love examining. I think having, sorry, I got distracted. I think having, like, cultures that are so far apart that develop their own, like, concepts of, you know, what is horrifying to them, and then sort of mixing them together can really, like, mix things up where horror is concerned. And I think it makes things a lot scarier because they're not things that you would consider to be scary because it's not what you grow up around, you know? I love content. I love consuming media. There's a couple more interesting pages in here, but let me find the Halloween choco pie first. A deluxe little chocolate pie is a perfect fall treat. I don't have a, I promise I'm not gonna eat in your ears. I might talk with my mouth full, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm not going to eat in your ears. I don't have a cam, so let me just, please imagine a little package with more Pikachu, and Vanillite with some Drifloon balloons. It's very Halloween-y. It looks a little bit like a moon pie. I'm going to try it. Oh, it's exactly like a moon pie, but without the graham cracker. And I think it's just cream in the middle, not like marshmallow or anything. That's pretty good. I like that. It's just like a little, like, double layer cake dipped in chocolate. I appreciate that, actually. Yeah, I'm having fun here. This is really good. This is tasty. And then you have universal things of how every culture has a dragon. Yeah! Love this Pippi gameplay. Yeah, I'm Pippi Ananasa, gaming streamer. Dragons are absolute chads. I think it is very interesting, the effect of dragons, you know, on worldwide culture. Have you ever met like a dragon loving child? I was a dragon loving child as a kid. They're filled with so much like wonder for the world, you know? It's very primordial and calls back to our ancient past, the way that we have children who are obsessed with wolves and some who are obsessed with dragons and some who are obsessed with creatures. I think it's very interesting. Oh my god, they have a Black Thunder in here? Where's the Black Thunder? I fucking love Black Thunder. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the Black Thunder? I fucking love Black Thunder. It's like a crunchy sort of, almost like a crunch bar, like dipped in chocolate. There it is. I fucking love Black Thunder, dog. Okay, but do y'all prefer Western dragons or Asian dragons? I think they both like really have their strong points. Like I love how wiggly Asian dragons are, but like something about the stompy feet of like the European dragons. It's really good. I think they should date. I want to write Dragon Yuri. Does anyone want to help me write Dragon Yuri? Oh fuck yeah, Black Thunder. I fucking love Black Thunder. Oh my god. That's just Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Okay, listen. We can make a better one. You guys don't want to get me started on Kobayashi's Dragon Maid because the ideas I have for a better Kobayashi's Dragon Maid are insane. I love Dragon Maid conceptually, but I think especially in the second season, like the second season borders on like insufferable. Like there's some like it is so good on paper, and then like in the process the execution is very poor. It is very, very poor. Like the show has its moments, but there are others that you're like, god, why are we sitting here watching this? Like executed fucking awfully. Yeah, fucking awfully. I would love to have like Monster Girl Yuri. I would love that so much, but that's not what Dragon Maid is. Was my favorite anime, but okay, listen. I can like the difference between the first and the second season is the first season you can see the potential. Like you can see like it has a lot of cute moments. As a more desensitized anime fan, I mean, I was able to get through it, but I completely understand like people because of some of the content. I completely understand if somebody like wasn't able to get through it. It's there is some stuff in there that I like. It's like, really guys, like come on. The second season though, It has so fewer moments that justify the like the other shit that you have to watch by virtue of it being the same show. Like, what is happening here anymore? It's like they had a lolly meter somewhere in house that somebody ticked up just enough and then looked around to see if anybody noticed. I noticed. I noticed. And I wasn't comfortable with it. Something, please put it back. Put it back. Put it back. I don't like this anymore. Um Okay, listen, if I were to rewrite Dragon Maid, first of all, I would put a much like heavier focus on the relationship between Toru and Kobayashi. Because I want Dragon Girl Yuri. I really do. We all noticed cringe behavior. Exactly, cringe behavior. I would eradicate Ilulu from the plot entirely. I would eradicate Ilulu from the plot entirely because there's literally no reason for her to be there. Hey Suji, I'm gonna need you to stop activating my auto mod when I don't have access to my mouse. There we go. There we go. There's literally, okay, there's no reason for Ilulu to be there. That is literally a child with giant tits. The problem with Ilulu is that the plot doesn't, like, has no idea what it wants Ilulu to be. I'm gonna need you to put a leash on that bot. I'm gonna put a leash on this sheep if he can't fucking control himself, okay? Come on, man. The plot has no idea what it wants Ilulu to be. She is like treated like a child when she first appears. Take me to multiple dinners first. All right, we're going to Fazoli. She's treated somewhat as a child at first. And she works at like a candy. She like works with children. She works at a candy shop. Her plot partner is a teenage boy. They're like a lot of like the narrative structure like paints her to be like a child or like a teenager despite the absolute massive big fuck honkers that are attached to her at all times for whatever fucking reason. But also they wanted a romantic rival for Toru. So she also talks about how much she wants to fuck Kobayashi. In the Chinese version, she has 0 tits, and I guarantee you, like a lot of instances, the Chinese design is like 9,000 times better. Like, I guarantee you. Usually, with lolly stuff, like, Chinese redesigned variations look 30,000 times better. Like, the absolute gigantic milk honking bazooka jugs. Yeah, exactly. Like, those things could kill a child if you swang them hard enough. Damn. And they chose to censor low wide of all things. Yeah, I've heard of that too. That, let's not. Maybe let's not do that. Thank you, China. Very cool. Anyway. So I would eradicate Lulu from the plot entirely. I would focus more of the story on the relationship between Toru and Kobayashi. I would add more Kobayashi dad moments. I love Kobayashi being like a parent to Kana. I think that's so fucking cool. I would keep I would keep the sort of like blossoming relationship between like the little crush between Kana and oh god, what's her name? I know her name. The little girl with a giant forehead. Saikawa? Is it Saikawa? That doesn't feel right. Anyway, I would keep that blossoming relationship, but I would remove the Twister scene. Get that shit out of here. Leave me alone. I would keep like the awkward, like, not, it's not overtly sexual, but it's weird. Like, I don't want to watch 2 children playing Twister. Like it's just like weird. It's awkward. Yeah, skirting around the edge as much as they possibly can. That's what it feels like. I would remove that scene. I would replace it with something different. Something that like you know, they can still like be like kids, you know, they can still like, you know, hug and stuff, but like nothing weird. Please, I'm begging you. Um, I think the Chinese government doesn't allow that shit in their digging. They're like, fuck, please don't censor us. We need money. Um, Here's a Luigi's Mansion lo-fi playlist, so hopefully it's cool. Okay. Anyway, I keep the relationship, but I'd change up. I'd change up some scenes so it's more wholesome than like treading the line of weird. Um, here's the biggest change I would make. Here's the biggest change I would make. Are you ready? I would completely change Lukua and Shota's bond, right? Because they like, isn't it like explicitly stated that they get married at some point in the future, Lukua and Shota? I would change that completely. I would rewrite Shota's story so that he's like a young mage, who's trying to sort of pass. Good night. Exactly. I think it's like somewhere. I swear to God, I read something in the manga. I read like manga screens where it was like revealed they get married at some point in the future. I don't fucking know. Anyway, point being, I would eradicate that relationship completely, and here's what I would replace it with. Oh, that's the sound of my controller falling to the floor. Here's what I would replace it with. I would have Shota be the child of a high-ranking mage family, and being like a 6-year-old wrapped up in like magical politics, who has like super powerful mage parents who don't really care that much for him. And I think his accidental summoning of Lukua would like bring about like his first sort of contact with like a truly like motherly force. Like I would have Lukua kind of realize that this kid doesn't have anyone who like really cares about him, and take on a sort of more motherly role as opposed to like literally assaulting him whenever she wants. Now I'm Googling that shit. I pray for you and your relationship with the FBI agent that keeps tabs on your tabs. Good luck, Pato. I'm saluting you. You want boba, Pippi? I'm not a big fan of boba, but if you want to give me a milk tea to try, I will try a little milk tea. Naruhodo. Yeah. Gives you gasoline. Shut up. You're trying to poison me. You hate frogs. You want me to go extinct. Anyway. So yeah, those are the major changes I would make to Dragon Maid. I think stuff like Fafnir and whatever his roommate's name is, those are perfect. In fact, I would make them gay. I would have the Dragon Yuri anime have like no straight people in it. Absolutely none. Which I think would be better for most media as a whole. If everyone was gay until proven otherwise. In her spin-off manga, it's been revealed that she married Shota in the future, having a daughter together and being pregnant with their second child. This is what I found crazy. Yeah, no. That, yeah. So I would change that. If I had creative control over Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I would just make it a good, I would make it a good show. I mean, anytime I see like screens from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I'm like, oh my god. Look how they massacred my boy. And it kind of sucks that like everything like plays out the way that it does, because it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, the fan fictions I would write if I had the time. I would literally rewrite the show to be good. Let's read this little page I have about yokai. If I could rewrite Dragon Maid, I'd just completely redo it from the ground up. Yeah, me too. There are some things like that, like media that I consumed in middle and high school. Is this the Dragon Maid anime? Yeah, we're discussing how we would make it good because it's bad. Um, take the basic concept and go from there. Yeah, precisely, precisely. Is it? Here's the thing. The first season, you can probably get away with watching it and having at least mostly a good time with it. The second season and the first season in combination with the second season, I'm sorry, no. I would delete it, then can it, damn. Here, I have this page about yokai, Japan's epic folklore monsters. You may have heard of zombies, vampires, and werewolves, but Japan has their own kind of supernatural creatures called yokai. Here's a rundown of the spooky spirits. Some popular yokai include oni, or ogres, kappa, humanoid turtles, tanuki, raccoon dogs, chochin obake, lantern yokai, and kasa obake, umbrella yokai. They can be friendly, mischievous, and even dangerous. Yokai can be regular ghosts or monsters, but they can also be everyday objects that are turned into yokai, called tsukumogami, or object spirits. Guys, if you were an object spirit, what object would you possess? I don't know what I would possess. Hold on, let me look around my room for ideas. You know what? I think maybe I would possess, like, plushies. Spoon? Back it up. Mods? Mods, put them in the painting. Mods, put them both in the painting. Mods, give them a false mansion sweepstakes contest. Single brain cell moment. God, it's too late. They're already merging. There's a full-on yokai parade in Japan every year that you can see for yourself, complete with amazing handmade costumes. Participants in their parade take their love of yokai to a different level. Cool. I would dress up as a yokai. Or would I? I'm not sure. Because I would be afraid of pissing off the yokai. I'd be like a cute choker. Aww. Would you be like a helpful choker? Or would you be like a mischief? Would you be like the devil on your wearer's shoulder? God, the ramen this time, because I get like the premium box where they send you like a ramen and a Coke or like a drink. Last time I got one, it was the mystery Fanta. That shit tasted like licking a Cabbage Patch Kid. That was awful. I hated every second of it. And it was like 0 sugar. I hated it. Anyway, the ramen in this box looks fucking amazing. It's Tanuki Yakisoba. Crazy. They were an asshole. Well, let's just say Joker would be a lot more literal. Look, Cherry, I think we can set up a little business where I become like, you know, in every creepypasta, how there's that old man at a garage sale that like sells the haunted game to the protagonist. I could be like that, but I'm selling my haunted choker to assholes. Like, hey, I heard you confess to war crimes in your therapy appointment. Unrelated, do you want this cool choker I found? Yeah, okay, I think I'm good. I had a couple snacks out of my Japan crate, I think I'm good. The Kit Kat flavor this month is sweet potato. I try really hard. Why is this one so heavy? What is this? Wait. Hold on, one of them is really heavy. Cool idea, note it down. Yeah, we could be entrepreneurs. Halloween jelly bean gummies. Huh. Okay. You put everything in my box away so that I can open it up at a later date. Add a few treats. That's all I need. The box is all cool too. It's all purple and Halloween-y, and there's pumpkins on it and lightning. She also sell me a cute girl sometimes, just like as a little treat. Yeah. It'll be like instead. That's what I'll do instead of like performance reviews. Like instead of giving you a raise, I'll give you a couple months of with the cute girl. Yeah. Grab my controller. Do. Best business venture ever. Yeah, I feel like we could really do something here. I feel like we really got it down together. Roll up my controller so I can... Alright. You know what? We've been going for almost 3 hours. I'm gonna find a video for us to watch before we wrap up. Let me see here. Let me switch accounts so I can get all of my spooky content. Oops, not that one. Wait, that's not it either. I'm so checked out right now. I mean, I feel better than I did when I started stream, because it really has been like a mentally demanding day, but whatever. Let me see here. Let me look, see who of my spooky channels has new videos out. Let me see. We watched Night Mind last time. I've been watching a lot of Defunctland lately. I was a Sesame Street kid as a child. I wasn't really much of a Muppet kid though. I watched Defunctland's videos about the Muppet TV shows and got genuinely emotional about the death of Jim Henson. Like, Defunctland is an incredible documentary maker. We tried watching Blame It on Jorge a few streams ago and ended up being a lot more morbid than we were expecting, so we'll avoid that. Maybe Barely Sociable or Nexpo? Hold on. Barely Sociable has... This is more like disappearances and stuff. What does Nexpo have going on? Nexpo has some Petscop videos out, but they're super long. Meow 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 meow. Oh, Common's awake. He better come say hi, otherwise I'm gonna go fucking kill him. What should we watch? Hold on. Do you guys... Okay, who do you guys like when it comes to, like, spooky content? If you're in the mood to watch something spooky but not, like, get banned on Twitch levels of violent, who do you go to? I'm subscribed to so many channels. I need to filter some out again. I'm a baby back bitch to this question. Not a question for me. Not want to watch spooky content, can't say? Okay, alright. Guess I'm alone. Let's see. I know I have someone in here that I haven't watched in a while. If I just scroll far enough, we'll be good. I am a spooky content connoisseur. I throw on those documentaries while I'm just doing shit. I don't remember subscribing to half of these people. I miss Lindsay Ellis. I know she's making content on, what is it, Nebula? But honestly, you couldn't pay me enough to sign up for Nebula. I don't know what it is. I feel like an old man when I think about, like, when YouTubers come out with, like, new sponsorships. I feel like an old man. I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I will not be engaging with it today. Be gone! Ew, I'm subscribed to VivziePop? Let's correct that right now. Ew. Yucky. Unsubscribing. Yucky. Damn. I didn't notice because she was so far down on the list. Yucky. Ew. Correction. Correction. Shay and I are at war with the cheer squad. You got sent home from school today for infecting the entire 3rd grade with lice. It's not true. Oh, really? Well, your teacher told me your head looked like the inside of a salt shaker. Please don't tell Mom. She's gonna shave my head like she did to Shay when she got lice in the 3rd grade. I told you never to talk about that. God. Oops. I reached the end of the list. Dum, dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Dum, 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 dum. Sorry, I'm trying to find. So, whenever I look for a video to watch with you guys, I take length into account and also like content. And if it sounds like something that would be like morbidly, if it sounds like a little too morbid for like, if it sounds like a little bit too morbid for Twitch, I like skip over it. But also, I'm looking for something like medium long. I did some cleaning up in my subscriptions a while back, so most of the people I'm subbed to today I watch from time to time. Yeah, I think once every couple of years I do that, but I haven't done it in like a long time. There's some, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, there's some names in my like in my YouTube subscriptions that I don't fucking recognize. Like after stream I'm gonna have to go through it and like do some unsubscribing because I simply like I don't know who these people are. Like bum, 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 bum. Oh, what about Atrocity Guide? I love Atrocity Guide. How did I skip her up? Hold on. We're gonna watch an Atrocity Guide video. It's been like forever since I watched an Atrocity Guide video. Okay, let me see. See, her videos really didn't start getting that long. Okay, hold on. We could watch something. Atrocity Guide doesn't really make like spooky videos per se. You're gonna watch Invincible when that drops? I haven't. You mean like the cartoon? Because I haven't seen that. I did not watch it when it was popular. She doesn't make so okay, Atrocity Guide doesn't really make like spooky content. She makes more like just like stuff that's like super like interesting. Um like internet stories, like news stories, that made whatever. You didn't? Nope. I'm allergic to popular things, I'm sorry. Um just like things that are like, you know, strange and bizarre. Um so we could one of my favorite videos is 45 minutes long and it's called The Dolphin House. We could watch that one, but I've seen it a lot, so hold on. I feel like you're very into video essays. Spoon, you have no idea. I am the video essay queen. Literally, tell me what mood you're in. I have a video essay up my sleeve that I can send you. How long do you want it to be? I literally, when I went up to visit the company in California, I literally, the H Bomber guy Roblox oof video. Um, I like literally cornered comment at one point. I was like, "We're watching this fucking video." Like, we're watching this fucking video. Actually, love that one. Love more recommendations. Yeah, literally, I'll like make a list and like put it in my Discord server of like video essays that I adore. Um, you know what? Let's watch a shorter Atrocity Guide video, and if you guys like it, we can watch another one. We're gonna watch The Throne of James Hampton. Here, I'll put the link in chat. I love those long videos about random talks I know nothing about. Oh, I'm the master of those. I have so many of those floating around my head. We're gonna get along so well. Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Gotta find where the fuck did my window capture go? Guys, Pippi lost her fucking sources again. Pin. Doot 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 doot.
It was 1964 in Washington,
Let me make
D.C.
myself
The
smaller.
country was experiencing something of a renaissance. The Beatles had just played their first American show there in the nation's capital. Texas Democrat Lyndon B. Johnson had just been sworn into office following the sudden assassination of John F. Kennedy, an event which heralded a period of uncertainty and mourning. But for Meyer Wertlieb, a working-class business owner walking down 7th Street, he had but one simple mission: the task of clearing out one of his storage units. The tenant, a reclusive janitor whom Meyer only barely knew, had suddenly stopped paying the rent. When Meyer opened the unit, he unveiled the product of a lonely, intense obsession. From the discarded items swept into his dustbin and collected from garbage cans along the street, the janitor had been working tirelessly for over a decade to create the artifacts of a strange religious message. Crowns made from light bulbs and coffee cans, plaques crafted from cereal boxes, a handwritten journal inscribed in an unrecognizable language. And at the center, a throne, designed from stained, discarded cushions and cardboard. Atop it all, molded from household aluminum foil, were two words: "Fear not." This is the story of outsider artist James Hampton.
There. I'm trying to be out of the way. Hold on. Once I watched an hour video, so I Goku's power level. I'm not even that big fan of Dragon Ball. My ex-boyfriend showed me a really good video essay about the preservation of Dragon Ball's original reels and how awful it's been and how little justice like re-releases of Dragon Ball have done to the series. And like the whole thing was like, it was actually really in depth, and it like goes into the fact that we're actually running out of time to properly preserve Dragon Ball in the state that it was in when it first aired on television, because Funimation is like re-releasing them and like overcorrecting them like to a point of like the films are like running blank. They're like starting to get like damage beyond repair. Oh my god, it was insane. It was an insane thing. Call back to the JFK video stream. Yeah.
Wertlieb
Shout out to the time we
recalled
spent
Mr.
4 hours
as
watching
tenant
videos
of the
about
last
JFK.
14 years, dutifully paying his $50 rent every month since 1950. After midnight, the janitor would make his nightly trek to the garage, steering a wagon filled with garbage the citizens of Washington, D.C. had left for him to clean up. In these found objects, he saw the specific shapes needed for a foil-covered wing or the base of a crown. The product of his labor is a throne room filled with glimmering shrines and plaques, a total of nearly 180 individual works. A pulpit from which to deliver an address of some kind is designed with painstaking symmetry in mind. The throne itself, a 7-foot-tall place of royalty, serves as a seat from which to pass divine judgment.
This is what'll
All
happen when I
items are
pass
wrapped
1
in
million
aluminum
followers on
foil,
Twitch, by the way.
reflecting
I'll
the
sit
light
in this
from the
chair.
bulbs he'd hung from the ceiling, creating the illusion of gold and silver. While this texture is meant to inspire a sense of awe from those who stand court in Hampton's garage, this is juxtaposed by the humble materials which make up these items. Hidden within the layers of Reynolds wrap are decades worth of junk. The title of his creation, written on a chalkboard found in the garage, places these items in their intended religious context: the throne of the third heaven of the nation's Millennium General Assembly. Only 2 pictures of the artist seem to exist. In both, James Hampton stands in front of his creation, staring into the camera with resolute confidence. One of the first questions I had after taking all this in was, who was this for? Who
Picked
did
a shorter
Hampton
name.
intend to wear
Really? I
these
don't know.
crowns? Who did he imagine would sit on the throne? To answer this question, let's take a look at what we know about James Hampton, and how he came to be who his journal described as the Director of Special Projects for the State of Eternity. His interest in religious imagery may have originated with his father, a traveling Baptist preacher and gospel singer, although reports suggest he may not have been a prominent presence in James's life. His brother Lee, however, seemed to
0
share a
pussy to
close bond with
listen, listen,
James.
listen.
The
Don't
two
bully
lived
this man and
together
his
for
throne.
much of James's early adult life, after he'd served in the United States Air Force, where he worked as an airstrip maintenance worker. It was during the time of living with his brother Lee, while working as a janitor for Washington, D.C.'s General Services Administration, that Hampton reported having visions. Always in the late night hours, well after his shift had ended, figures from Judeo-Christianity, the Virgin Mary, Adam, and Moses tasked Hampton with the mission of creating the throne of the third heaven of the nation's Millennium General Assembly. These visions occurred intermittently for nearly 20 years. And it was after his brother's death in 1949, cause unknown, that James Hampton set to work. During this 14-year period, Hampton was single-minded and focused. For hours every night, he removed foil from cigarette cartons, taping and gluing together old whiskey bottles and chewing gum wrappers until they became emblematic of his vision. As if to prove to himself
That's
he was
insane.
indeed fulfilling his divine prophecy, Hampton began tagging many of his artifacts with an inscription.
Chat, let's run a poll. Is he or is he not fulfilling his divine prophecy right now? What do you guys think?
This is true.
The
that
hyper-focus
great
is real.
Moses, the giver of the 10th commandment, appeared in Washington April 11th, 1931.
Hell
The
no.
inscription read, "This is true, that on October 2nd, 1946, the Great Virgin Mary and the Star of Bethlehem appeared over the nation's capital," read another. On a chalkboard fixed to
Good
the
God.
garage wall, Hampton inscribed the 10 Commandments, written in a language which has since been referred to as Hamptonese. One
Hamptonese?
can ascertain little from the vestiges of Hampton's new religion.
Is that on the
but
Rosetta Stone?
nowhere
Can
is
we
this
get
more
a
true than
translation
its
for that?
accompanying holy text, the Book of the Seven Dispensation. The title almost certainly refers to the idea of dispensationalism, which posits that God is delivering his plan incrementally throughout different eras of human history, with no doubt James seeing himself as the chosen steward for the newest dispensation, a modern-day equivalent of Moses or Abraham. But the content of this text is impenetrable. Its pages
No
are
funny
filled
drawings.
with a
Literally
recurring
unreadable.
symbol.
Yeah, bro.
Hieroglyphic in nature,
Do
its
better.
six-sided
Do better.
shape appears symmetrical, aside from the mysterious
Yeah, it
details
looks like a
drawn within
peen.
it. Each entry begins with Hampton's signature, Saint
Okay, I'm getting some
James.
water and shutting
At
up.
the end,
No,
the
it's
word
okay.
Revelation is written with such
Let me know how y'all are
urgency, it
feeling.
seems to be shouting from the page.
How do you guys
The
like this
content of
James
these
Hampton
entries
guy?
is an unrecognizable language which has puzzled linguists for decades. Having quickly ruled out a
Damn.
simple substitution cipher.
Do you think there's anyone out there whose sole job, like they wake up, they clock in, they do their work, they clock out day in, day out, they get paid to do it, is deciphering Hamptonese? I doubt it, right? Because I don't know who would be on that. Who would be like, yes, sir, right away, sir. I'll translate this Hamptonese for you. But like what makes a professional linguist? I gotta know.
For English as a solution, and failing to identify what, if any, type of encryption Hampton was using, results have been inconclusive. In 2005, over 40 years after its discovery, a computer scientist named Mark Stamp published the paper Hamptonese and Hidden Markov Models. The hidden Markov model is an approach used to find a set of
Free money.
by
I mean,
extrapolating.
it's been like 60 years. If they haven't figured it out now, you really are just clocking in, sitting around, and clocking out.
Variables that are known. For example, ascertaining the weather by observing the clothing people outside are wearing. Stamp began by identifying each character, noting their frequency, and applying the 42 unique symbols to the model.
Jesus Christ.
Despite getting closer than anyone, Stamp's results were inconclusive, ending his analysis with a startling thought. Hamptonese is simply the written equivalent of speaking in tongues.
God.
There are many gaps in the life of James Hampton, and much
He's
is
kind
left
of
to
goated for
speculation,
that, though. Like, having his
especially
own, like,
during the
written
time he was
language. He's
devoting
kind of like,
himself
come
to his
on.
throne. Although commonly
Let,
believed to be
let's
quiet
hear him
and
out.
mysterious
You
man,
might not understand
James
him, but
had,
let's hear him
on
out.
occasion, shared his work with carefully selected acquaintances. One of the only people to view Hampton's work, a woman in possible romantic interest by the name of Otelia Whitehead, had this to say of her experience.
That's a baller name.
I was
Otelia?
speechless, she told the Washington Post. A cab driver brought me to the alley saying there's something here you really must see. Mr. Hampton opened the door and it was like the wings of Gabriel were beating in the extremely bright light. Mr. Hampton showed me each piece, speaking of the millennium and Armageddon.
Tin foil. Gum wrappers. I'm just looking at this image and I'm going insane.
You may live to see it, he said. You might be here when he comes again. Mr. Hampton was sleeping in that space, on a couch with an electric burner for heat. Despite the poorness of the surroundings, I felt the presence of some unknown force. I returned to visit Mr. Hampton a dozen occasions. No one could sit on the throne.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
On your knees. I knelt before the mercy seat, and it was...
Guys, everybody remember, if you have young people in your life that are going trick-or-treating next week, just be careful and make sure you check their candy, because somebody tried to put the wings of Gabriel in my little brother's Reese's cup last year. We can't have that happen again.
It was like praying before a great altar. Meyer Wertlieb, the man Hampton had been renting his studio from, knew his tenant had been working on something during the midnight hours and had once confided in his landlord that the project
That was me,
was
sorry,
his
Pato,
life,
come on.
and he would finish it before he died. But the tragic reason for the unpaid rent, as Wertlieb would soon find out, was that James Hampton had died of stomach cancer at a nearby veterans hospital at the age of 53.
Damn.
This begged the question, was Hampton's decorated monument to his new religion...
Wait, a lot of them are coming out with actual worms? Wait. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Inspect them before eating, forget about it. Wait. Hold on. This news was a week or two ago, so dinner might be over. After Reese's Cup contains live maggots and viral video. What? Snopes, explain. Widely circulated video shows 2 people discovering a maggot infestation inside of a Reese's Cup. What the fuck? Wait. That's insane. Wait, last updated 28 August 2014, huh? Again? That one is not it. Oh, this one is more recent. Uploaded on October 3rd, 2023. Okay, alright. The clip has been viewed over 2 million times and left many viewers stunned. Okay, listen. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm like gonna eat a candy, I'm like gonna be looking at what I'm eating, right? Like, it would be kind of gross to like see like a bug in a candy and I throw it away, right? Like listen, I think people who get bamboozled by stuff in their food are kind of the weak links of society, and natural selection is going to get them. Sometimes it's dead and not visible on the surface. Do you guys not like break apart your food before you eat it? Is that like an autism thing? So like there's some foods like you guys know those like garlic breadsticks that are like twisty? I have to like take apart the twists one by one before I eat them. Granted, Reese's peanut butter cups I tend not to do that with, especially the mini ones. Maybe I do have a touch of the taste. Listen, we Chadpoles are a community of gay neurodivergent people only. If you're cis, straight, and neurotypical, I'm not really sure what you're doing here. Are you lost? Do you need help? Should I call you an Uber? Can't say I do that, but yeah, um, yeah. There's some food like Twinkies I have to pull apart before I eat them because I feel like pulling them apart allows me to have more control over the cream to cake ratio. Man can't be straight in here. I mean, you can, but if you're straight cis and there's nothing wrong with you, I'm gonna have to raise a little eyebrow. I'm just kidding. Everyone's welcome here. I'm doing a little joke. I'm doing a little bit. I'm doing a little bit. I'm doing a little jokey joke. Haha, haha. Please don't stop viewing the stream. Please. Damn, makes out with Pato. Quick, she's watching. Leaves. Hitsuchi, get back here. I could literally whip out the DSM-5. Come on. Hitsuchi, you already know. Anyway, throne video.
Made from the discarded objects
Speaking of throne, oh my god. I have a throne. You can buy me things.
Hampton himself
Whoa.
was likely the only person who could answer that question. But as with many cases of this type of lifelong obsession, the work is never
Twerks all over your diagnosis
It's
book.
difficult to imagine a time in which an able-bodied James Hampton wouldn't be dutifully reporting to his storage unit during the late hours of the night.
Come in. I was wondering when you were gonna come in and say hi to me. God, come on. How you doing, Common? How you been?
It seems to me an example of the futility of life, Wertlieb later told a reporter of the Washington Post. His sister, Hampton's next of kin,
I'll be putting my ass on this tinfoil throne in a little bit when I die. I was asleep for thousands of seconds. How was your nap? Did you sleep good?
Showed her the sculptures, the
Seems to be a very sleepy day all around.
Throne, she didn't seem interested. This left Wertlieb in an awkward position. The artifacts of Hampton's religion, a total of 177 items, occupied an enormous amount of space. He needed to vacate his storage unit for the next tenant, but as he told the Washington Post, you can't just destroy something a man devoted himself to for 14 years. With trashing the sculptures as a last resort, he put an ad in the local DC newspaper, advertising the storage unit as well as the contents inside. Days later, the shocking discovery of Hampton's throne would begin to ripple through the art scene, inspiring creators for decades to come.
Yeah, I accidentally took a 3-hour nap today, and yeah, I'm gonna be up for too long too. We'll probably be here for a little bit.
As an artist, he viewed himself as a prophet, and during the
look at you, you're off tomorrow. I'm jealous.
Him sharing his art, he did so as a prophet in areas where it was rejected. Reportedly, he'd approach nearby churches, offering to incorporate the throne and the Book of Seven dispensation into their sermon. Unsurprisingly, he failed to generate interest. But whereas the church—
Can you imagine the fucking cojones this guy has to have to walk up to a church and be like, hey man, I can add to your religion if you want. That's insane.
Which proved an ill-suited venue for Hampton's creation. There was one fringe corner of 1960s counterculture which would ultimately embrace him, albeit posthumously: the art world.
Kind of whack. I can make it better. Have you seen this sick throne I made out of 5 gum wrappers?
Many artists in the 1960s were eschewing the conventions of painting and sculpture in favor of more abstract means of expression: performance art. Minimalism.
The blue color is the spirituality, and the pink, which is the flesh.
Come and take care of yourself.
Symbolize the passage into.
Poor boy's up for like 12 hours before he can finally KO when he gets home. Damn.
Over formal artistic training, making it the perfect climate for outsider art such as the throne of the third heaven of the nation's Millennium General Assembly to gain appreciation.
I love her commitment to calling it the full thing every single time. That's incredible. That's dedication. She doesn't even shorten it. I'll be working a 6-day week next week. Get plenty of sleep, baby girl. Make sure you rest up.
It was the art world who responded to Wertlieb's ad. Ed Kelly, a sculptor who was looking for a space to use as a studio, visited the 7th Street storage unit. Quickly realizing this foil-covered opus was something others needed to witness, he contacted prominent figures in the DC art scene to come and see it. Harry Lowe, a local painter known for his gouache landscapes, stated that stepping into the garage was like opening King Tut's tomb. Robert Rauschenberg, a mixed media artist who had also been incorporating
She
garbage
trying to
from
get
the
that
streets
character
of New
count on a
York into his
class essay.
paintings, saw a fellow found object artist in James Hampton. But unlike Rauschenberg, Hampton used trash not because of its poetic value, but because it was the only material he had. Alice Denny, a curator of avant-garde
JFK
art
jump
around
scare.
the DC area, paid the outstanding rent due on the storage unit and began to make arrangements to house it in a more suitable display. Since 1970, the throne of the third heaven of the nation's Millennium General Assembly has been housed in DC in what is now known as the Smithsonian American Art Museum.
Dog, I gotta go fucking see that shit. I've been to DC once. It was forever ago. It was like, oh fuck, that was all. It's like 8 to 10 years ago. Holy fuck, that was forever ago. Anyway, I went to DC once forever ago. I did not go here. I feel so compelled to go see this. How have they preserved it for all this time?
Physically,
oh my god.
the throne is fragile. Made from items that were meant to be cast into a garbage heap decades ago, held together by glue and band-aids, the throne is prone to deterioration. Nearly every time it's loaned to a different museum, components often require reattaching upon return. But instances of foil ripping or wings falling off afford curators with a unique opportunity to find out what's underneath, and if they're lucky, form a clearer picture of the person who made it.
Damn.
See a tab advising the buyer that there were only 6 feet now, 6 feet left. Order now. Reynolds wrap. I sometimes picture him. I'm sure he had different working phases, but
I was so far
sometimes picture him
aside
just working
from Mexico trip. I've never
feverishly,
been more than 4 hours from home.
pulling out the foil.
I love traveling. My body does not. My body beats the fuck out of me when I travel any more than a couple hours away from home. And it becomes so exhausting, and I feel like because of that, I feel like I communicate like a different sort of attitude than what I actually have, because like I'm having a fantastic time. I just feel like shit. Like, and like I feel like on like family trips and whatever, people like gain maybe the insight that I'm like not having fun when I'm having a blast. It's just that my tummy hurts and I'm really tired and I haven't been able to go to the bathroom in days. Like, it really takes a toll on me, but I do love to travel.
Rolls and not having time to even tear off the tab before he started a new one.
Although we previously assumed James had only been working on the throne during his 14 years in the storage unit, insight into these materials tell us that the space he rented wasn't to begin construction, but to continue it.
He made, according to a label that's found on one of the objects that's part of the throne, that it was made on the island of Guam when he was stationed there in the military. This was years before he rented the garage, so it kind of speaks to the amount of time that went into his conceptualizing this work.
It's likely James worked on the throne in one form or another most of his adult life, planning, collecting, envisioning. He pursued the throne with a monk-like obsession, viewing his own body as merely an instrument of its creation. We've seen other instances throughout history of individuals devoting their lives to one bizarre, solitary
Sorry, I looked away and I looked back and my chat was full of people. How would one help you enjoy travel time more? That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever thought about it. I just, for the most part, if you just like give me time to rest, because like that's what I hate the most when I'm on vacation somewhere and there's like 90,000 different plans like filling up every single day, and I don't have time to like come back and like decompress and like lay down for a while, because I also get like super overstimulated really easily when I'm away from home, and I have a really hard time sleeping. Like it is literally like everything. It's like fucking Murphy's Law in my body. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. like in my body. So like you just like give me like time to like decompress, I think. My family, some members of my family are really bad about that, where they'll just be like, yeah, no, I like scheduled us to do like 9,000 different things like every single day that we're here, so that way we don't miss anything. And it's like I am so thankful for the experience, but I also want to fucking kill myself. Like I need to rest and eat often when I travel, because if I don't, my body is suddenly out to fucking get me. Teleporter. If y'all could go anywhere for a month, where would you go? Oh fuck, I don't know. Give me a while to think about that.
Author of the 165-pound Codex Gigas, labored in secret for 30 years to create what is colloquially known as the Devil's Bible.
The Devil's Bible. God damn.
Edward Linskaunen, builder of the Coral Castle, spent 28 years in South Florida constructing a small village of limestone, for which he was the only resident.
Damn.
A fellow custodian like Hampton, Henry Darger, wrote a small library of original fictional manuscripts, complete with sprawling illustrations of its characters.
Darger's completed works totaled approximately 15,000 pages, collected into 7 hand-bound volumes.
Frederick Knudsen is another one we could watch.
Many who are drawn to outsider artists such as these individuals inevitably ask themselves one question. What does it mean to labor in solitude, with no outside encouragement, with no formal training to fall back on, propelled only by a sense of purpose that others couldn't even begin to understand? It's undeniable that the throne has a certain gravity, commanding the attention of other artists, fiction writers, poets, musicians.
Yeah, I think I'd like to visit Japan. I wouldn't like to live there, but I'd like to visit.
Perhaps in the throne they recognize something truly rare, art in its purest form, the compulsion to bring something into existence without the expectation of recognition, with the artifact itself being the only reward. Many of us will likely never know what it's like to be driven by such a compulsion, either from a perceived divine source or as a devotion to a loved one, or simply a mysterious desire to manifest a unique vision. But in the throne of the third heaven, we can see the product of it. Foil-wrapped beer bottles and tissue holders.
Tom, is there something you want to see in Canada? I mean, I've been to Canada, but like, I wonder why you say Canada.
The man who gave his life in order to build it.
That's Atrocity Guide. How are we feeling? Vibe check. While I go find us another video. I can find us another Atrocity Guide video. She has some longer ones. I'd live in Japan if I was filthy rich. I don't think I would. I'm stealing Common's answer because I'm nothing if not an impressionable young person. My shoulder blades are like blades in my shoulders. Stretch, Hitsu, come on. Don't be stupid. Stretch again. Stretch more. Just have a shitty chair. Can we get this guy a can we get this guy a new chair? Come on. Yeah, Frederick Knudsen. This guy's a VTuber now. That's crazy to me. Working on it. Someone get this man a Herman Miller. Ooh, I know what we're watching. I'm sorry, I know what we're watching. We're watching the Final Fantasy House video. Let me change the stream title. There we go. That way nobody knows. Nobody thinks to expect Luigi's Mansion, because we already beat that game.
Of the early internet stories, there are few as infamous as the Final Fantasy House. Though the details are unclear to most who remember it, its reputation is still sometimes invoked on forums in reference to terrible housemates or the eccentric potential from online communities, especially fandoms. What's more, it was one of the main channels through which internet users were introduced to the otherkin phenomenon. So what was the Final Fantasy House? On April 18th, 2005, a LiveJournal user under the handle of GenkiCrack made a long, scattered post detailing an experience with specific fans of Final Fantasy VII, a popular and influential
I hope you guys
story-driven
have your
game from
seatbelts
Japan.
buckled. You're not
He
fucking ready for
introduced
this.
it by writing, "These people are dangerous. This is not a joke. This is my experience with them." He began by explaining his place within the fandom. Quote, "Most people watching the journal now probably don't know this, but back in the day, I ran a pretty popular website devoted to the characters Cloud and the very minor character, Zack, from Final Fantasy VII. It was really the only comprehensive one out there about the two, which was why it got such notice. I was used to receiving fan mail or other people's fan art, which I'd put up on the website." Unquote. At the time of his alleged experience, he explained that he was a college freshman and a heavy drinker. In 2002, he was contacted by a person calling herself Hojo, referencing the mad scientist villain from the game, and the two began conversing with each other occasionally over AOL Instant Messenger.
Here's the thing. Here's red flag number 1. You got somebody who's kinning the villain of the video game in question. I think I would, as they say, DNI. I would not be interacting. I'm sorry.
Hojo
What's
had her
AOL? What are
own
you, a
fan
baby?
site dedicated to her namesake, and following the same pattern, she began calling the writer Zack after his site. At the time, he thought nothing of this. Sometime after, he was introduced to Hojo's wife, who went by Genova, or Jen, after an ancient evil and alien creature from the game. The writer describes their first encounter
Teach me,
online.
Mom. Ew, don't
Quote,
call me that.
"Then came a good old bombshell. I was asked if I had any memories of past lives. I do believe in past lives. I think it's
AOL Instant Messenger was a messaging application of like super duper old internet, like dial-up days. I'm like 90% certain it doesn't exist anymore. But that was, how you fucking talk to people back in the day. Before your fucking Snapchats, before your fucking Discords. What's dial-up? Oh god, we're gonna be here for a while.
It's a pretty valid cycle given how many cultures believe in it, so I told her no, I didn't, but I did believe in it. I should never, ever have said that. It was like inviting the vampire into my house. Jen's attack was swift and sure. She began in a flurry explaining things to me, how there are alternate universes. Do you grant me that? Sure, there could be. And in those universes, maybe, just maybe,
This woman is
video
insane.
games actually happened. I thought it could be plausible, because I like imagining anything's possible. Through all of this and all this flurry, she tells me that she thinks in a past life, I was Zack from Final Fantasy VII. Think about it, she said. You're both country grown, you both have that instinct of dragging off friends who could be left behind. You'd take a bullet for someone, right? You say you don't believe in magic or any of that, and he wanted to be a mercenary. For all of his 5 or 6 lines, you have a similar speech pattern. You even live in a basement like he was locked in one, and you hate
That's
it.
crazy.
Addle your brain with
That's fucking crazy. That's insane. Could you imagine just like having a conversation with somebody and like they start analyzing your speech patterns with a character that like barely has any voice lines? Oh yeah, she's fucking insane. Oh, you live in you live in a basement just like Zack was locked in one. Like, no, that's not how that works. Stop that. Stop it.
with freshman idiocy and vodka, and this will suddenly make sense. Sure, maybe I'm not him now, I said, but it was possible. Unquote. The writer agreed to meet them.
In past life, I was this fictional character who came into existence during my current lifetime. Yeah.
Before Christmas. He was met at the bus stop by Hojo, wearing a lab coat, who escorted him back to where they were living. Quote, "When we arrived at the apartment, Jen, who insisted I call her Genova and would often refer to herself as Jenny Nova, came storming up to Hojo and I, screaming in Hojo's face. I have no idea what it was about. She was wearing a purple skirt pulled up around her breasts. It looked like she had just got out of bed,
Dripless.
and I was, to say the very least, intimidated. About 3 seconds later, she whirled around in a quick change. Suddenly, the nicest person ever. Whatever she was mad about was out the window. About this time, I started to realize, though, Jen wasn't role-playing when she talked about her children and other selves. Jen is what the internet calls a soul bonder, or in other words, batshit loony. She believes she has a lot of people living in her head talking, and when she wants to take on a personality that best fits a situation for her personal gain, she acts one out. i.e., if she wanted to get sympathy, she would raise the pitch of her voice and pretend to be an innocent child. Unquote. Despite these
Damn.
occurrences, the writer's overall experience was positive, and he would frequently return.
I think there's certainly validity of medical evidence behind dissociative identity disorder, but I severely doubt that's what this is. Severely doubt that's what this is.
Each time paying
'Cause that's not how it
$300
works.
for a bus ticket. With every visit, he would meet someone new, many of them soul bonders themselves. Jen would frequently ask for money to buy food, and the writer would relent, feeling a sense of obligation. She would also attempt to help the writer and others grow more attached to whatever Final Fantasy character she had assigned to them. This was achieved through various means, including pantomimed magical battles and a past life regression involving laying on the floor and listening
Hell
to music
no.
from the game. In one instance,
Hell
on a trip to
no.
the college, she and Hojo locked the writer in a soundproof room past the point of panic to help him, quote, remember being Zack. Another time, when meeting someone
I would
soul-bonded to the character Eris, Jen...
I'm so sorry. I would simply stop going. Like, if it were me, I understand it's very easy to be like, well, I simply wouldn't do that. No, for real, I simply wouldn't do that. I'd stop.
attempted to
I
coax
couldn't.
them
I
into
couldn't.
sleeping together. To this end, she announced that she was going to lace their food with aphrodisiacs. But
What the
whether she
fuck?
actually did so or not, her demands were not realized. As strange as these instances were, however, they were not enough to dissuade the writer when Jen and Hojo proposed that he move in with them.
Just don't go. Yeah, that's like $300 in your pocket, and you don't have to
The writer
be
moved
forced
into the
into
state
whatever
college apartment
hazing
in the
this
summer
is.
of 2003, with plans to only stay for the season. Within 3 days, he found a part-time job at a supermarket to help pay for food and rent, and he quit drinking as well. But his experience quickly degraded. Quote, I can't even say what came first, chicken or egg, but let's just say that after 1 week, I was getting sick of it. I was the workhorse. I guess because I was Zack, I was therefore the manly man, as opposed to Jen the Cetra Queen or Hojo the frail scientist. Jen quit her babysitting job and refused to look for another one. I was the one who had
Christ.
to carry groceries to and from the house, the one who made the money to
I'm so
feed
sorry. If I
everyone, the
lived
one
with
who
somebody
had to fix
who
or move
quit their
furniture when it
job
needed
after
to be
I got
fixed or
there,
moved. My computer
it would
could
be
barely
hands.
get online
It would be
because Jen
hands.
was on almost
I would be dragging them to
24/7. The rest
interviews.
of the time, she would watch me as I typed, so I could never make a journal entry that read something along the lines of, Jen is abusing me, help me God, I'm tired and I want out of here. Unquote. Jen's pattern of surveillance worsened quickly. She would always be listening in on calls, reading his online interactions, and demanding to know wherever he was going to keep track of him. She would frequently wake him up in the middle of the night for sundry magical errands, depriving him of sleep. She demanded he spend his meager paycheck on $10 steaks for dinner, which made him sick, and when those would only last one night, she and Hojo had him ask for unsold food at the supermarket. Nobody in the apartment would take out the garbage or clean besides the writer, who only washed the dishes, and so the stink festered in the apartment in the hot Pennsylvania summer. Jen only wore a single dress and refused to bathe, opting instead to use scented oil. The writer described the smell in the apartment as rotting flesh and a miasma of filth with Sparkle Sunshine Fairy artificial sugar scent sprayed over it. What's more, Jen and Hojo would beat each other loudly and with increasing frequency behind their bedroom door as the summer continued, each time followed by noisy sex. This pattern of starvation,
Yikes.
sleep deprivation, surveillance, and social isolation eroded the writer's will, and he began supporting them blindly. For example, while the writer was staying there, Eris grew tired of Jen, and the two had a falling out. The writer described the aftermath. Quote, apparently, Eris called one evening when Hojo and I were at the used bookstore, stealing books, yes, that poor, and said she wanted some of her things back that she had left at the apartment. Jen exploded. She called Hojo's cell phone in tears, screaming she was going to kill herself. I believed it. Hojo called Sid and demanded he go over. Hojo called Eris and screamed at her. I told her off too. We rented a taxi with money we didn't have and raced home. Jen, who had been screaming she had slit her wrists, was sitting in the middle of the floor. Sid was draping damp cloths on her wrists. I woke up for a second and knew this was bullshit. I had a problem with self-injury, so I knew very well the sight of a deep cut and the sight of a light cut. I know well knife wounds. Jen had scratched herself, horizontally on the wrists. Maybe it had been with a safety pin or a butter knife. It was not any kind of suicide attempt. At the most, it would sting. But I was still mad at Eris because I was supposed to be. I wrote her nasty emails. I joined
These people, for hot take, these people are like the bottom of the barrel, lowest of the low. Like, there's a special place for these people in hell. I know it's a little bit of a hot take. I know maybe the internet's not ready for that yet. But honestly, not good people.
them in bashing her. I ignored her when she came to pick up her stuff, even though she obviously wanted to still be friends with me. I regret that now because we never reconciled then. Maybe if I had got a clue and tried to get out with her, things would have turned out different.
VIP corner in
Soon,
hell.
he was
Yeah,
left with
you're
no money to leave and no confidence to ask for help. Even when he attempted to talk to his father at a payphone.
Can we talk about Zach's fit here? The purple sleeveless turtleneck sweater with the armor harness and waist-high pants with 3 belts. And the gloves. No sleeves, but gloves. Chat, how are we feeling about this fit? I know it has nothing to do with the video. I gotta know how we're feeling about this because I don't know, man. I don't know.
Jen would go hunting for him. Then, when the filth in the apartment grew unbearable, Jen and Hojo asked their landlord if they could move to a smaller, single-room apartment, further increasing their proximity. The writer was the one to move the boxes. Soon after the move, the supermarket cut the writer's job to 1 hour a week.
It's a classic fit. No, it is classic, of course, obviously, but like, it's one of those things where like you see something a lot, and you don't really like process it, and then you really start to look at it, and now I'm like tilting my head a little bit. Those pants look comfy as fuck though. I kind of want those pants. Makeshift corset in attempt to not look gay. Damn. How would we change it up? I don't know. I don't know if we need to, is the thing. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it though.
Payphone, Jen would go hunting for him. Then, when the filth in the apartment grew unbearable, Jen and Hojo asked their landlord if they could move to a smaller, single-room apartment, further increasing their proximity.
This is criminal. This is fucking criminal. The way... Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. No, 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 no. Hey, can we find a smaller space? No. Listen, I'm a person that thrives in smaller spaces. I do not like like big houses. I'm not a fan. I went into this last night. I'm at like a single floor in a basement type of person. This arrangement, especially if they prove that they can't take care of a household, my body would be among the trash, for real. And remove the shoulder armor only. I feel like that would make it worse. That would make this a really bottom heavy design. Maybe I'd add something to the arms? I don't know. It looks fine. It looks fine. I don't actually want to change it, but like, just be better with the sword. I like the smaller spaces. But I got like actual 0 space. Yeah, your case is a little different.
1 hour a week, but even so, Hojo took all of them out to buy new things for the apartment, implying that she had been hiding money away in order to make the writer pay for things. Here, as they did many other times, they fought publicly. However, there was one person from the circle of friends in town who had consistently helped to stabilize the writer's mental state, a person who went by Sid, also a name from Final Fantasy, though the author describes him as having, quote, 1 foot in reality. He wrote, Sid occasionally would come over. When he did, I was glad because it was someone else. But he was and still does have his dickish moments. Jen would make these the be-all end-all, and Renee would back her up. I began to think he was like that all the time and didn't want to hang out with him when he was gone.
I just
Once
prefer
he
to look
came
about
back,
it.
they had to restart the process of brainwashing me all over again. Unquote. It was after one of these visits that the writer finally gathered the will to leave. Inspired after someone had stolen his shoes, he left everything behind in the apartment and walked the streets barefoot. By the end, he had spent a total of 2 months living with Jen and Hojo. After being homeless for a few days, Sid helped him gather his things and return to his mother's home in Brooklyn. Besides his own account, the writer spoke.
Y'all, could you imagine shit blowing up in your face that badly and then having to go back home and describe the Final Fantasy house to your mother? Oh my god.
Spoke of a few
Oh my
others
god.
involved with Jen specifically. One account was about someone he referred to as Captain McCool, a sensitive person with whom they sought to fill the vacant spot that the writer had left. When they asked him to move in with them, he was too nervous to turn them down directly, and so he claimed that he had been assaulted to avoid it. When they discovered his lie, they, quote, had him stuck in a chair and forced him to watch while they raped each other. Another person, whom he referred to as Bean, would sell her blood to help fund Jen's lifestyle. At the time he was writing the LiveJournal post, she was still
Selling
living
her
with them,
blood?
but stayed in the attic and was forced to remain as quiet as possible. The writer expected some people in the Final
Dog,
Fantasy
this is some
community to see
depraved
this,
shit.
but he couldn't expect the sort of attention it would receive. Word spread quickly about the LiveJournal post, and many fans of Final Fantasy, as well as Soulbonders, commented that they had heard some details about Jen and the group in State College, but hadn't known the extent of their behavior. Others who already knew her found these claims unsurprising. Beyond the
Yeah, there's,
community,
like,
however,
I'm
this
floored
story
that
gained
people like this
interest on
exist.
forums, including 4chan, who treated it with disgust and fascination. It was soon adopted into general knowledge as a way to reference poor living conditions and soulbonders, a subsection of a group known as Otherkin. It was here that the infamous story earned its generally recognized name and misnomer, the Final Fantasy VII House, or often just the Final Fantasy House. Though the rest of the internet would sometimes
The Final
question its
Fantasy Hype
veracity,
House.
the writer's account seemed generally accepted within the Final Fantasy community. He began to receive testimony from other people affected by the group, many of them people he had met during his time at the apartment. To share their correspondences, he created a website where he cataloged the accounts of those who approached him alongside his own. Due to the limited archival information available, it's difficult to say the rate at which he updated the site with new accounts, but it appears he was receiving them as late as 2006, with each person represented by a pseudonym. Some of these accounts were from people mentioned in the original LiveJournal post, and they helped elucidate the practices of
The
the
Final
group and
Fantasy
enunciate
stink
Jen's
bomb.
and Hojo's behaviors. These accounts suggest an air of amateurishness yet charisma to everything Jen did. For example, one account from someone going by Zarla wrote, quote, there were also tarot card readings and such while we were there. Jen had the same tarot deck I had as a kid, the Tarot of the Cat People, and she told my fortune using the exact same method outlined in the little booklet that came with the cards. I can't remember anything really specific about the readings, except there was always mention of something coming after me or something, thus the coughing. If I remember right, later we were playing with a Ouija board and that something or someone was again trying to contact us. Unquote.
It was me.
These accounts would also unanimously support the assertions about Jen from the original writer. One of the
Okay, chat, hold on 1 second. If you were if you were as detached as like a ghost being contacted with a Ouija board, right? And you could ask the members of the Final Fantasy house, the famous Final Fantasy house, one question. What the fuck would you ask them? Where would you even start? Dog, I don't even know.
oddest entries, however,
If I were a ghost,
was an
I'd avoid
open
this house at
letter
all
prefaced
costs.
by the LiveJournal writer. Quote, the following was taken from the Wayback Machine. It is posted without consent of the original author, and I want to make that damn clear. She has nothing to do with it being here, so don't involve her. It is being backed up here due to the fact that it contains some current information that I felt should be edited out, like names or references to other people uninvolved. As far as I know, the original author is now happily farming turkeys in Idaho. Don't hassle her. This was written in 2003. The article itself is apparently written by another active member of the soul bonding community, though clearly no longer associated with Jen, under the pseudonym Candy Wrapper. The introduction to the letter reads, Genova, when I became your apprentice, you told me to shut up and not argue with you. Apparently, a sorceress is supposed to be a creature who blindly accepts the opinions of the authorities, even when she firmly believes that they are wrong. From this, I learned that when Jen says something I disagree with, I need to nod and make agreeing sounds anyway. Otherwise, we would have to fight
Just
every
say,
2
"Please
minutes, and
shower,
quite
now."
frankly, saying what I thought wasn't worth the hassle. I am not, however, your apprentice anymore, and I am free to say what I think. And I will, because it's a relief to say it, even if you aren't reading this. I do not actually give a crap whether you read it or not. It will hurt your feelings, and you will care that it happened, and I don't.
Gift them a
You have
bidet,
been warned.
goddamn.
The letter is structured as a list, and the first item.
Did I tell you
revealed-
guys about the bidet that I came across when I was on vacation in Seattle in April? That was it was just like, you know, when you turn on a kitchen sink, some of them had those little spray like hoses to the side of like the kitchen sink where you like hold down the little lever and like the water goes to the spray thing and it sprays. It was one of those attached to the back of the toilet. And that was the quote unquote bidet. Oh my god, it was insane because because of the city infrastructure, Seattle has a lot of plumbing issues, so you can't use too much toilet paper, otherwise you're gonna like clog your shit because there's so many issues with the plumbing system in Seattle because it's built into a sound. So like the toilet paper was really thin, and to make up for that, they just stuck a fucking like mini pressure hose to the side of the toilet. Another LA is wait, is that how things are in LA? It's like, are you fucking serious? No way.
The name of Jen. You do not look like any Final Fantasy characters. You look like Jennifer Cornett. End of story.
Oh.
She shared some of her thoughts on Hojo and her relationship with Jen. If Renee does not go to class and do her homework, it will be difficult for her to pass those classes. Then she is no closer to graduating. Until she graduates, it will be hard for her to get a job that makes more money than she gets now. This is called capitalism, and it's a bitch. No one likes it, but no one has come up with anything that works any better. Renee always
Damn,
has
she's
to
cooking.
call off work or skip class to give you attention. She does this because she loves you. Love makes people do irrational and reckless things. This is one of them. That does not make it a good idea. You are
Damn,
wrecking
she's
Renee's
cooking.
life. It is wrong to do so, even if you have her permission. A few other choice lines read,
Grill
"You
her,
have no
god
money
damn."
because you keep spending it on things you want. Anything you want is not automatically a magical item. There may be potential magic in everything, but then there's magic in things you don't bother to look at. Things you can have for free. If something is a magical item, that doesn't mean you must own it. It would be nice if you could, but you can't always do so. I had money.
I wish y'all could see the look on my face right now because I am gobsmacked at how this girl is fucking grilling this woman. Oh my god. She's like, is this Gordon Ramsay? Can't stop cooking. Like, damn, she ain't pregnant, but she's delivering.
Because I rarely
Fuck.
bought anything for myself. Whenever I got some money, I would save it. I am not a money generator, and neither are my parents. If you want to have money, you need to not spend it. I now do not have money because I spent it on you. Poof. All gone. You still wanted more, but I didn't
What
have
did
any
you
more to give
just say?
you. I have been using
Don't worry about it,
crystals
we're
since
moving
I was
fast.
10 years old. You are wrong when you start with that "you won't use them properly" shit, because I have been using crystals since elementary school. You taught me no magic. The only thing I actually learned from you was to beware of people
Holy
like
fuck.
you. But among these accounts, there was one
Grilled,
that stood out from the
sautéed,
others, and if it's to be
broiled.
believed, it showed just how far the manipulation of Jen's entourage
Seared to a
could go.
fine crisp. She ain't coming back from that one, I'm sorry. It's Jover for her.
In November of 2005, the LiveJournal writer entered email correspondence with a woman who went by Mela. Mela had apparently known and bonded with Jen in a Utah boarding school and rediscovered her online through an open letter. Though the quote in the email isn't quite the same, it's highly likely that
Blasted,
the letter Mela
yeah,
discovered
holy
was
fuck.
the list written by Candy Wrapper. Hoping to reconnect, Mela asked the author of the letter for Jen's information, and sometime after, she visited Jen's residence for 2 weeks. Here, she claims Jen was able to convince her to spend $2,000 on various objects and food by asking only for small amounts at a time. Sometime afterward, likely in 2005, Mela made the decision to begin living with them. Quote, "I moved in with $17,000.
How do they keep convincing people to move in with them? That's the question I have. Like, you visit over and over again, you see how things are, you see that things are undesirable. How still do you think, yeah, you know what? I could trust these people with my finances. I'll move in with them. Huh? Girl?
In my bank account, and soon Jen had drained all of that on necessities, all for the house, many of which went into Jen's room and never came out. Soon I received a check from the
Me.
investment company for $80,000, and Jen's spending began again in earnest. I tried to get her to stop spending money on frivolous things, but every time I said no or told her she should spend her own money buying things for herself, she threw a fit. All this time, she was telling me how important I was to her special plan, how the world needed us to stick together so we could conquer evil, etc. I wanted desperately to feel special.
This is
I
like
was scared and
cartoon
alone,
villain shit.
and I believed her. She knew a few magic tricks, was very good at reading people, and could give relatively accurate tarot readings. I fell for her lies, hook, line, and sinker." Unquote. After she moved in, it was clear that Hojo's relationship with Jen had deteriorated, and she had been supplanted by a new person named Angel, whom Mela claimed was remarkably violent. Jen was now sleeping exclusively with Angel, though sometimes Hojo would sleep with Angel as well. Hojo was forced to stay extremely silent during the day
literally.
or risk being berated by Jen.
I
This
don't like smelling
information
people.
strongly suggests
I
that
have to,
Hojo
like,
was the one who was selling blood
acknowledge,
to fund Jen. Their hygiene
like,
was
all 5
also
senses
still
of what I'll be
abysmal.
getting into
Quote,
before I make any
"Oh,
decision
how
ever.
Jen
Moving
smelled.
in? Fuck no.
Angel was much worse, though. I don't think that girl ever bathed. They just kept adding perfume. And Jen's purple skirt/dress stinked to high heaven. That was until I made her other clothes to wear." Jen, during this time, was apparently made aware of the LiveJournal writer's website as well. At some point, it appears that they moved somewhere new, and it was here that she claimed she was beaten on multiple occasions. Once, during a dispute, one of them grabbed onto Mela's hair and started slamming her head into the floor while Jen and Angel beat her with their fists, then sat on her and attempted to choke her. Finally, she passed out
What
from
the
the head trauma.
Fuck?
Jen would later convince her that she had attacked Jen first, then blacked out. Eventually, Mela would tolerate no more, and she kicked them out. Much like their apartment, the house was left a mess, which Mela documented with photographs. They also had stolen numerous objects upon their departure, including board
God,
games, fabric,
pick
and a
up.
set of corsets, though her demand for back payments of rent,
That
quote, in
cat? You
excess
have a
of
living
10K,
cat in there?
is suspiciously inexact. While this account is
Stop.
consistent with other reports of
Stop.
the group's
Pick up
behavior,
after
there
yourself.
was no
Oh my
method by
God.
which anyone could verify the veracity of any of them, instead leaving only the word of the writers. Alongside
Oh
this,
my
the
God.
author would finally reveal the faces of Jen and Hojo. In the
Shit yourself.
frequently asked
Apparently they
questions
already
section,
have.
He wrote, "Is this photo Vincent/Jen/Hojo? 90% of the time, no. This was Jen in 1999. She got fatter and dirtier. This was Renee in 2000. She
Holy
looks the
fucking
same."
shit.
In response to this attention, Jen and Hojo began to frantically delete most traces of themselves online, and even with their names publicly available, nobody could find them. After this, the attention on these stories began to wane. But only a few years after the accounts were posted, the Final Fantasy house would return in a way that nobody expected and, at first, seemed entirely unrelated. On July 15th, 2008, a LiveJournal user by the name of Dragon Tigerclaw wrote a post entitled Insane Housemate Part 1 and published it on Housemate Horror, an open, moderated page where people could share their stories of bad roommates. The opening reads, quote, "I used to live in an awesome situation in
Part of the
SoCal."
reason why I feel nervous about like finding like roommates is I'm like scared shitless of being a bad roommate. I'm scared shitless of everything all the time. My anxiety gets worse with every passing year, but I have a really irrational fear of like being an awful roommate. Like I like generally like I try to like, you know, like clean up after myself in spaces that I'm sharing with other people. Usually a lot of my mess is like contained to like spaces that only I use, but like I don't know, I'm just scared shitless that I'm gonna get into a situation where I have a roommate and they're gonna be like, yeah, turns out you're actually really dog shit. Like I get so afraid of that all the time.
Until the housemate from hell moved
Just
in.
eat them? Oh, okay,
Fortunately,
thanks.
she has
I'll make
left,
note of
but the
that.
bitterness remains on my tongue. It is a saga that can only be told in pieces. Please bear with me. In the cut, you will find part 1 of the saga involving the girl who believed she was a video game character. Unquote.
Oh.
Soon, the author would name himself as Pete. The tale was structured in irregularly sized sections, with many of them ending on cliffhangers. He explained that he was living with 5 other people in a 4-story house. He claimed that the rent was a preposterously low $500 a month, and that the landlord,
Holy
Matt,
fuck.
kept it that way because his chief concern was that he wanted company in the house he had inherited. However, his standards for roommates were high. They all had to have stable income and employment and be at least 25 years old. The woman who was chosen after their screening process was kept anonymous by Dragon Tiger Claw and was given the placeholder name Sarah, who moved in without much trouble. She claimed to be a 27-year-old computer programmer who already had a job in the area, but when she went back to work after the move, she returned saying she was laid off. When others offered to help her find new work, she consistently delayed accepting it, which made them suspicious. But much more striking was her connection to a particular game. Quote, "In the 3 weeks that followed, Sarah was still unemployed. She spent all her time playing video games in the family room. She would play the same game over and over, some crappy-looking RPG from the 90s. It had an unpronounceable name, but Sarah said she was bonded to the game. She also told us that she changed her name to be that of one of the game characters. Upon further discussion, she explained that she believed she was the human incarnation of this character and that they shared a soul." Unquote. Pete refused to reveal what character she...
Immediate eviction. No. First of all, if I were having the, like, if I went too long, first of all, if I go too long without a job, I get depressed. I have to be doing something. I don't think I'll ever retire on purpose, because if I'm not doing something, I feel worthless. And that, like, for me is like the worst feeling in the world. The fact that people will just lay around on purpose and just not do anything, not contribute anything, because they feel like they just have the right to, that level of entitlement makes me so fucking mad. It makes me so mad. That on top of this, like, soul bonding shit, immediate eviction. I would have been like, okay, all right, you can either get a job and go outside, or you can get the fuck out. Like, hell no.
was claiming to be, however, since it would be identifying information. This game would, in the second update, be revealed to be the Japanese RPG Suikoden, released in 1995. Soon afterwards, a friend of hers came to visit the house. She also believed herself bonded to a Suikoden character, specifically Sasarai, but since Pete could neither spell nor pronounce it, he simply called her something. After spending a week together playing video games, they took it at a barbecue that the rest of the housemates were having. Though they had been given vegetarian options to join, they refused on moral grounds, denouncing them for eating meat. After they were aggressively told off, they were asked for a house meeting, which took place in March, to discuss whether or not Sarah would be allowed to stay. Sarah attempted to explain herself. Quote, "Sarah lifted her head and started to talk. She started with, 'I am sorry, but you have to understand where I am coming from.' She also said, 'Lots of people can't understand me because I have such a high intellect, it is beyond.'"
To be fair, you have to have a high IQ to understand Suikoden. This is fucking insane.
"Excuse us for being sane, bitch." Unquote. They eventually learned that she had used friends' help to get past the screening process. She had never had a job in California, was from the East Coast, and used a friend's address to get a California driver's license while another posed as her boss. Matt allowed her to stay until May 1st, since she had already paid for April. Sarah, however, wasn't willing to leave so easily. By this point, numerous readers had become enraptured, begging for updates to what they had come to call the Sarah Saga, and many returned daily in hopes that a new part would be posted by Pete. In response to the pressure from Matt and the rest of the house, Sarah isolated herself in her room, with Sasarai acting as a go-between. She would only leave it in Sasarai's company. However, this didn't last long, as Matt was able to pull a favor from a psychologist friend to get her treatment for free, and he managed to convince Sarah to attend. Soon, she was
Psychological treatment for free? Bitch? For free? For free. Oh, this ungrateful hag. Oh my god.
And was interacting with the others on a more normal basis. It was during this time that they discovered Sarah's true form of income. Quote, she said, "Plain as can be, I have people offer me donations on my blog so I can spread the news of my religion." Her religion being that she is actually a male video game character from a game that came out in the 90s. What? So there are some morons out there who are giving money to Sarah so she can pretend to be a video game character and teach others how to do the same? Something said, "We give her things because she has helped us find our true selves." "So you don't work either?" Tim asked. I could tell he was ready to explode. No, I get government benefits in the UK. Why?
POV
Because I don't like to work.
VTubers.
Soon after this, Sarah's boyfriend convinced her to
Honestly, why? Because I don't like to work? It's a little iconic. It's a little iconic.
abandon her medication, and the results were violent. After one of the ruder housemates demanded she start taking the pills again, she began smashing fragile objects, including a window. She would continue to take her pills irregularly, but by this point, interaction between her and the rest of the house fell to a minimum. By the time May 1st came, there was no sign of her moving out, and when Matt attempted to evict her, Sarah called the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, claiming discrimination against her religion and her disabilities. While the state didn't follow through on these threats, they did discover that Matt had never filed the correct paperwork to house tenants, and Matt couldn't evict her until the proper paperwork was filed. But the strangest event would happen that summer. In July, Sarah gathered 12 members of her soul bonding group at the house to perform a ritual, threatening Matt that she would file a discrimination suit against him if he wouldn't let them stay. Though Matt acquiesced, he only allowed them to stay until 10 o'clock that night. One roommate demanded that the soul bonders be ejected, but Matt wanted to gawk at their ritual, and so they stood in the kitchen and ate pizza while watching them. Pete describes the ritual.
Just like me for real.
Quote, Sarah came downstairs, dressed in a white dress. She kept glancing at us. Something stood between her and us so she couldn't see us, I guess, and she began talking. She talked about how this was Betty's awakening and how Betty was now going to finally realize her potential by harnessing the soul of a video game character. I couldn't stand it. I started cracking up. The rest of the housemates started cracking up. This was better than any kind of TV you can imagine. See if you can picture all of these nutjobs kneeling around the altar as the video game played its music in the background. Sarah stood over them, preaching this religion, and the right bishop something would occasionally interject something deep from her position. Sarah was really getting upset, so more of her friends made the human wall. We could still hear all the stupid, even after they turned up the volume on that video game. At this point, Matt threatened to call
This is literally like, me, I can't hear you. I can't hear you laughing at me. I'm gonna turn up my video game. I can't hear you. Me.
since it was nearly 10 o'clock, but when one of the members of Sarah's group threw a punch, the threat was carried out, and the group was forced from the premises.
Get fucked.
After this point, other members of the house would share some of their experiences, but as they did, readers grew more suspicious. Before this, many people had been doubting the veracity of the claims made by Pete, but when the other housemates began to write in a similar fashion to him, it made them even more dubious. These disagreements eventually spiraled into arguments whose full scope was not archived before being deleted, but they were apparently severe enough for the moderator of Housemate Horror to write a post regarding them. Also in this post was a surprising and unexpected piece of information. Quote, Tim, Pete, and Carrie, aka the people posting from the account Dragon Tiger Claw about the Sarah saga, may be as they say they are, different housemates of Sarah, or they may be the one person doing a little creative writing experiment. Basically, I don't give a crap. The posts have been amusing and entertaining, and anyone who doesn't think so is not being forced to read them, so please do not complain. Farther down, the mod continues. It has been brought to my attention that a post was made by someone who was claiming to know Sarah, and that the posts made by DTC were false and harassing blah blah wah blah. This same person, Jay Eckhart, sent me an email before they made that post, requesting IP address information on the poster of the Sarah stories in order to catch the culprit making these false and harassing posts.
First of all, L plus ratio plus get fucked plus you're insane. Secondly, the audacity of somebody to email the moderator of the website you're using directly asking for IP address information? Holy fuck.
I declined, as
People
I
have
do not
balls.
think giving out personal/identifying information such as IP addresses on members of my community without their permission is really a good thing to do you? Also, I have no proof that this person is really representing Sarah or that the posts made about her are false. I have no proof that they are true either, but until I get proof either way, I think the best thing is to not take any drastic actions. They requested I not tell DTC about them contacting me, and I intended not to, simply because it was the most neutral action to take, but then they made that post and made their intentions public. So I feel fine with telling you all, including DTC, about the email now. But meanwhile, elsewhere on the internet, other people were having their own discussion about the Sarah saga, and they would quickly discover much more than they first expected. On August 19th, 2008, a member of the Something Awful forums named Jabberwock posted a thread entitled, "If you thought furries were bad," which linked to the 11 parts of the Sarah saga that had been posted so far. The responses seemed mostly to reflect amusement, though quite a number of forum members echoed
Part
the doubt
11,
displayed
yeah,
in the
holy
comments of the
fuck.
posts themselves. One user, however, who went by Jägerhunde, had a different response. Quote, "I haven't read through the journals, I only started the first, but I swear this could be about a girl I knew and even once dated in that really vague, sad high school nerd way. She claimed that she was soul bonded to the Eris character from Final Fantasy VII, that her girlfriend was soul bonded to Sephiroth, and she swore at one point with perfect seriousness that she was carrying Sephiroth's spirit child. Apparently, she'd conducted an elaborate fantasy life with these characters in her head and had written pages upon pages of god-awful fanfiction about it. So far as I know, she grew out of it eventually, but when I say eventually, I mean like late 20s. Even when I knew her at 16, this kind of behavior from her made me want to stay far the fuck away. Oh yeah, the girl in question also changed her name to some bullshit nerd fantasy name she made up and absolutely refused to ever be addressed by her birth name. After reading through the rest of the entries, Jägerhunde returned the next day with a new post that took the other readers
So
aback.
unhealthy.
Pretty sure I've got this all sewn up, goons.
How do you get that
Allow
far?
me to introduce you to Catherine Rain. By pure chance, Jägerhunde had been in a small writing club in high school with Catherine and still knew her Flickr account, her DeviantArt account, and her LiveJournal account. They also discovered the Flickr
Not
account
him
of
just
someone
casually
cosplaying as
posting
Sakurai,
her
who had
fucking
numerous
face all over these
pictures of both
threads.
herself
Goddamn.
and Catherine. One of these images credited her as Catherine Silverberg, Silverberg being the surname of a family of characters from Suikoden known for their tactical prowess in war. Other photographs had Catherine in a white dress, something that Sarah had worn in the Sarah saga. But the most telling piece of evidence Jägerhunde discovered was legal paperwork of her name change. By searching for her name in the county archives, he was able to discover her court schedule for when she legally changed her name. Though the accounts of Pete and his housemates were still doubted, the identity of Sarah seemed almost certain. They also were able to track down the website that this soul bonding community was using to proselytize curious internet users. Another person rediscovered the pamphlets that they would hand out at conventions. Part of it reads,
Holy fuck.
"The runes are devoted to preserving the natural order of life. While it can't be denied that their bearers have often experienced great hardship as a result of bearing the runes, we know that this is due to inexperienced bearers with no magical training, suddenly and unexpectedly receiving the runes' gifts. With no knowledge
Chat,
of
we
how to
eating
live
the
in
runes
harmony
tonight?
with these powerful entities, they can't control
Let me know.
vast forces raging in turmoil inside themselves. But if people were taught to listen to and understand the runes, we could have the healthy, positive relationships with them that we were always meant
We
to
killing
have."
Nazis
The
tonight.
end of
That
the
has nothing
pamphlet
to do with what we're
encourages
talking
readers
about,
to
but I
contact
agree.
Bishop Sasarai. After looking through the information on the Final Fantasy house, Jägerhunde made another assertion, that Catherine had also been deeply involved with Jen and Hojo. He believed that she was in fact both Candy Wrapper, the person who had written the list on the website, as well as Eris, the apprentice
Yeah.
that Jen
You know what?
had lost.
Yeah.
Catherine had also
Whatever
been
Nazis you're
attending
dealing
the
with,
University
Hitsuji,
of Delaware
beat the
during
fuck out of
events
him.
the Final Fantasy
Punch that
house,
Nazi.
only a 2-hour
Don't even
drive from
hesitate.
State College. It appeared that, after these two distanced themselves from one another, Catherine began her own soul bonding community based on the Suikoden games, gathering followers over the years. Though the evidence linking the two was circumstantial, the specificity of it left little doubt, and this revived
This what
interest in the
sucks.
Final
She's kinda
Fantasy
pretty.
house enough that new people were again discovering it. On August 22nd, just 2 days after Jägerhunde had posted about Catherine, he made another post saying, quote, "Took a day off, everyone. I don't really have anything more to add, except to mention
Did
to
you
everyone
pour
that I've
that
become
big
aware
ball of
that our
crazy while you were in
protagonist is
high
now
school?
aware of
Holy
this thread.
shit.
Say hi, everyone." Gleefully, the rest of the forum members began to post messages to Catherine, mocking and teasing her, claiming to be soul-bonded to any number of characters or objects. That same day, however, an update was posted to the Final Fantasy House website. Quote, I updated some stuff to make it slightly more legible. Evidently, housemate Horror's Sarah is not Rain Crystal. This comes to me via the writer of the Sarah saga. If you think he's lying or that I'm lying, that is your own business, but that is what he told me. Rain Crystal's behavior, soul bond nuttiness, getting money for it, etc., is similar enough to Sarah that she is harassing the writer to stop posting his lies about her. As such, I still think she's worth warning people about. I am sorry, but based on my experiences and the experiences of others, soul bonders are dangerous freakos. Unquote. The next day, Jägerhunde had a strongly worded reply. Quote, this is actually a goddamn lie. Greta is a litigious-loving nut, and it sounds to me like housemate Horror Dude is doing damage control. I don't blame the Final Fantasy VII house author, since he's probably taking it simply on faith that our housemate horror author is telling the truth. But he's not, and anyone who's read this far through the thread should see through this pathetic obfuscation pretty easily. Unquote. In response to one person asking for clarification, Jägerhunde replied, it would be irresponsible for me to say that Greta and her friends have their collective panties in a wad about the housemate horror thing and have been pressuring the author to recant, so I won't. I'd like to add that it's possible that the housemate horror author is a very elaborate troll, but even if he is, this is clearly someone who knows Greta, if it's her, of course, and while I'm willing to entertain the idea that some of the particulars might be fabricated, the fact that anybody you know, like maybe Greta, has possibly gotten so defensive about a series of stories, which even use false names, says much about that person.
Nothing wrong with being inspired by them, but if
Finally,
you think
on
you are
August
them, it's just a weird
24th,
thing to imagine.
in
Yeah, no.
mid-afternoon, all parts of the story
fucking
were
crazy.
removed from the housemate horror blog. However, working from Google Cache, the members of the forum were able to piece together all of the parts that had been written by Dragon Tiger Claw and archive it on the forum, though it also had been saved on the Wayback Machine. That same day, the original Final Fantasy House author posted an update to his website. Quote, well, what do you know? When something awful found Catherine Rain, things really heated up. The original writer of the Sarah saga got regular harassment until he took the story down. Considering the mind-numbing level of consistent details between Catherine's data and the data on Sarah, I'm going to agree with the goons. The OP was just doing damage control. It's obviously her. The current theory is, in one last-ditch effort to avoid more court battles with her, he deleted all the posts. Well, Greta, you stepped in it. You took away my train wreck that I was reading to defend your crazy cult. If he was writing fiction or not, you took away the fun. Thanks to something awful, we'll have lots of nice photos and links all here about you in just a little while. Unquote.
Damn.
This last update remains on the website to this day, and a link to the Sarah Saga thread on Something Awful is provided farther down the page. Now, the Final Fantasy House's website and the Sarah Saga remain as a warning about fandoms taken to their extreme, but they also serve as an example of how the online space collapses the distance.
I can't believe they
between
fucking
people,
found
so
her.
that even old friends with no more existing ties can discover or stumble across one another with wildly unpredictable effects.
Wow, 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 wow. That's Final Fantasy House, and I'm sleepy, so we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up. Insane. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, well, I'm gonna find somebody to raid. Who's online right now? Probably no one. Zathos is online. The red Zathos. Pasta. Hi. Okay. I'm sorry, Pasta, but it's raid time. It's raid time. Let's raid. Zathos. Okay. Schmeeben. Thank you all so much for coming to stream. I really appreciate y'all being here. I really appreciate y'all coming by to chat with me and say hi and beating Luigi's Mansion with me. I will see you all next time, probably tomorrow, but I'm not really sure. I'm so tired. 5 days of streaming. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, how's it going? I can literally see your PNG on Sethos' stream. Don't leave, please. God. Oh. well, well. I guess. Never mind. We're canceling the raid. Because Grizz asked us to. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming to stream. Please be kind to yourselves and each other. Get up, go stretch, go pee, get some water. Be good. Behave yourselves. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye 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 bye